Finance, the most important topic in life or most important topic in India. We don't talk about it to our parents, to our cousins. Moreover, our college or school never taught us how to make money, what are the important topics that you should know about money, and how you can use money to make more money. Hey friends, I'm Ronak and welcome back to the another video. Today's video is very special for me because we are going to talk about important lessons or the important concepts about financial industry that school, college never taught us. First important lesson is budgeting. Budgeting is nothing but managing your expense and managing your income. Never, our college, our parents never taught us why budgeting is important and why you should focus on budgeting. Because I believe, like from my personal experience, I believe budgeting is first step to your entry in the financial world. The day you start budgeting, the day you will get a lot of insights about your income, your expense, your spending habits, like how much money you spend on unnecessary thing, how much money you spend on subscriptions. Like you will get a clear idea about whether your money is actually going. Because most of my friends says that I'm poor, I don't have money to do these things, I don't have money to do these things. But when I ask them, do you started with the budgeting, do you know where your money is going, then they don't have any idea. So I believe the budgeting is first and the foremost thing that every college or every school should teach us, like how to do expense sheet, how to make a balance sheet, and how to understand where you can cut down the amount and how you can optimize your expense for the better life. Then you can start investing and all of those things. But budgeting is the foremost and the first lesson that everyone should understand. Second important topic about the finance is diversification. Well, diversification can apply to a lot of things. It's not only about the income, it's not only about the finance. You can apply this in your opportunities, it can apply to this into the creator economy also. So you have to understand that why diversification is really important. Diversification is nothing but either you can create more income source, like that's called the diversification. You are creating more income source, so you will never feel that okay, if tomorrow I will lose a job, then I will never have to worry about any income because I have my investment is strong. I have I have my different income sources are strong, so I have to never worry about that. The same way when it comes to finance or when it comes to investing, you should understand that why diversification is important. You cannot put all your money into the share market. You should understand mutual funds, you should understand bonds, you should understand PPF, you should understand NPS. All of those terms I'm not going to talk about here in details, but probably in a detailed video in the future. So make sure you subscribe for that, press that red button or press that bell icon so you will get notified. So diversification is nothing but if you have 100 rupees, rather than putting 100 rupees into the one company, you should put into the different companies, which I believe schools or college never taught us, because they used to suggest that okay, focus on this subject because this is going to give you maximum marks, and that concept remains in our mind for the lifetime. But you should remove that concept first, unlearn thing and learn new thing, that is diversification. Third and my most favorite concept is risk versus reward, which is I believe really important if you are into the 20s, because as soon as you graduate from the school, colleges, you need to understand what are the risks you are going to take and what are the rewards you will get when you take that risk. So it applies again the same, either it is apply in your career or it is apply same in the investment. Because when you are 20 or when you are 20-30s, you don't have a lot of opportunities, you don't have to take care about your family, you don't have to do a lot of things, you don't have to take a lot of responsibility like buying a house and about those things. So here at this time you can take a lot of risk in your life. Like literally you can put with the small companies, you can work with the small companies, you can invest all your money into the high risk profile. So you should understand why risk taking is really important. Even if you lost some amount of money at the 20s, usually it won't happen if you are consciously planning all of your investment or all of your finance. It won't happen. But even if you lose some money, it's not going to affect a lot. So rather than spending on expensive iPhone, rather than spending on expensive things and just going behind the status. Try to understand the risk versus reward. If you take risk right now, then in the future you will get huge rewards. Like when I look at my portfolio, my investment portfolio, I took a lot of risk. I have money in the Bitcoin, I have money in the mutual funds, share market, even the small companies. I have invested almost everywhere. I know that some are in the loss, but I know they are going to recover in the future because I have studied all of those things. So it's really important to understand risk and reward. Now we are moving into the slightly complex topics. Next concept is lifestyle inflation. Inflation is nothing but the price of the goods and goods or whatever the things are, the price increases eventually. So if something costs you like 100 rupees today, after 10 years it's not going to cost you 100, it is going to cost you 150, 180. So you have to understand that inflation rate, like what is the inflation rate. Our college, our school never taught us what is actually inflation rate and why the price of the thing increases, why the price of the goods increases. So it's really important to understand inflation rate, and you should know how you can beat the inflation. Otherwise you will always remains poor. So if you never want to be poor, then understand that what are the inflation, like inflation, how you can tackle the inflation. What is inflation ratio in the India? It usually depends on the 4 to 6%. Like every year the price of the goods services increases by 4 to 6%. So if you want to beat 4 to 6%, your income or your investment should be more than 6%. It should be minimum 8 to 10%. And how you can make 8 to 10% if you are keeping every money in the saving bank, or if you are buying expensive things like a lot of car, house, everything, and how you are going to beat inflation. So you have to understand what is inflation, which our school never taught us. The next topic our school college never taught us about the finance is expense ratio. Probably I will make one detailed video on the mutual funds and the expense ratio, but if I want to give brief about the expense ratio, like when you start investing in the share market, mutual funds, then the AMC company takes some percentage for their marketing, branding, whatever the thing is. So it is known as the ER ratio or the expense ratio. So usually the expense ratio starts with the 0.01% and it can go up to 0.2%, 0.3%, and the more the expense ratio, the less amount you will get. So first you have to identify all of those things, like what are the expense ratio. Whenever you are going to start with the investing, first thing you should look at is the expense ratio. What is the value of expense ratio? So there are two types of mutual funds. First one is direct and regular. So always go for the direct mutual funds because the expense ratio is really less. Even if you say that 0.2% is not going to harm me, but think about 20 years later, that 0.2% compounds in much larger amount and you will get less amount as compared to the direct mutual fund. So always understand, or if you are started investing, then make sure you check out the expense ratio of all your portfolio. The next and my most favorite concept is compound effect. Compound effect is eighth wonder of the universe. Even Einstein said that, and if you can use it, if you can understand it, then it will make you rich. If you can against it, then it will make you poor. So compound effect you can apply everywhere. Again, it's the same like other thing, like compound, everything compound. Your relationships compound, your habits compound. Same way your investments also compound. So if you are starting today and if you are going to invest for the next 20 years every single month, then the compounding amount is really high. So you should definitely understand what is compounding and how compounding can give you much higher result as compared to the any other thing. You will not understand this compounding effect right now, but when you are ahead in the life, like you are at 30 40s, and if you have invested with the discipline, then when you look back after 10 or 20 years, you realize that how compounding played in your life. So make sure you understand compound effect, and you can use this compound effect almost everywhere in life. The next concept our school college never taught us is called index fund investment. So what is actually an index fund? Index fund is nothing but collection of different stock and you will giving a final value. Like if you have 10 to 20 stocks in one bucket, and if you are going to use that as a 100, the 100 is called index fund. So there are two types of index fund, like Nifty 50, and the BSE is called Sensex. So these are, you have definitely heard about this name. You can create your own index fund also if you can understand the share market. If you don't understand share market, then index fund is definitely for you. You can invest in the index fund and you will definitely get results over the period of time, which I believe is really easy to understand. I mean, you don't even have to understand it. It's basically, it's already there, it's already available. You just have go and put money and forgot about it, and just do it every month, and after a few years you will realize that your money is growing much higher rate. But obviously there are some kind of risk also involved, but you will never lose money, because usually the index fund gives you the greater returns as compared to anything. At least you will able to beat inflation. So you should understand what is the index fund. If you want more detailed video, then you can go and Google a lot about the index fund investing. The last concept that school or college never taught us is called dollar cost averaging. So what is basically dollar cost averaging? So consider this: if you are investing 500 or 1000 or 5000 rupees per month into some of the things, then if you're even if like if you are investing, consider A, B, C shares, and if you are investing 5000 in total in that region, every month at the 10th of the every month you are investing, and tomorrow or next month the share price goes very deep, like it's lost all this value. Even if they lost all this value, you have to keep on investing with that amount, like whatever the amount is, you should keep on investing. So that's called the dollar cost average. Whatever the reason is, whether the shares goes high, whatever even the share goes lows, you have to keep on investing by discipline, that you have to keep on investing, putting all this money over the period of time, and you will see the results after 10 or 15 years. So that's what is all about the dollar cost averaging. The goal of the dollar cost averaging, it's all about reducing the effect of volatile market. So if even if the market is volatile, even it is up, even if it down, you can efficiently manage that. So that's the reason you should understand dollar cost averaging. So if you want to understand more about money, or what is the psychology of money, I will highly suggest you to check this video where I shared psychology of the money, like 10 lessons from the psychology of the money, and another video where I shared must read finance books. You can check that here and let me know which book is favorite from this video. And that's all for today's video. See you in the next one. Bye bye, tata, take care.